Hey everybody, Yivvits here. The following is a recording of our podcast discussion panel from Faire 2008 in Las Vegas, Nevada. On the panel was I'm Alan from the SOE podcast, Ashley or Amy from the SOE podcast, Delmont from the EQ Tuesday podcast, and of course Yivvits and MrBubble. Unfortunately, we missed the first few minutes because Yivvits was somewhat of a noob with his new recording device, but I think you'll enjoy it anyway.
And I kept sticking around and not going away. And before I realized that they had all stepped away and I was the only one left still doing it. And I guess I did it because, well, I don't know much about the game, but I got an opinion on just about everything, I think. Yeah. Whether it be right or wrong. More right than wrong, or sometimes I'm told later the other. By the way, you should all have your epics done by now if you haven't. That was one of my less better moments on air. But we're actually a little different.
We're all different.
Yes.
Just my mom tells me.
We're all snowflakes.
We're all snowflakes.
We're all different, but some of us are more different than others, I guess. We're actually a live cast. We don't pre-record. We actually go, we do it on-air internet radio show. So it is live. So when I say something stupid like I just did, it's out there and I can't take it back anymore. And trying to edit it out becomes more and more difficult every week because there's so much stupidity. So I take a 90-minute show and I reduce it to about 8 minutes of 8 minutes of show, 6 of which is music and 2 of which is us saying hello and then goodbye. So that's what we do. We kind of have a script. Well, we have some sheets of paper in front of us, so you can hear me rustling those, but it's just me moving paper around. It has nothing on it. Just make it sound like I do things beforehand. Yeah. So that's, so it's a live show, and I think that gives us a very unique perspective because we can actually interact with players during the show. And they're giving us live feedback on the topics that we're talking about. They're giving us their opinions as well, and they're telling me just how wrong what I said was, or my favorite part is how to correctly pronunciate the words. I have my own lexicon for EQ2. I don't care what anybody else says. It's syphilis, not syphilis.
What? Syphilis.
Syphilis, right. So I'll say it how I want. It sounds right in my head, along with all the other voices. But, so that's our show. It's a live cast, so there's a lot of interaction. I think that provides us a really fun opportunity to interact with the players and get their real-time feedback and incorporate that into our show.
Alan, when you're in. Oh, hi, I'm Alan.
You're the real Alan.
You are Alan.
We actually, a couple of years back, a couple of our community team employees said, hey, let's do a podcast. And so they recorded one and we put it out. And we referred to that one as the podcast beta or the podcast NGE, as it were.
It wasn't that great.
The PG.
So we changed with the PG, thank you. We changed our format and after a few episodes, Ryan Schrader was the co-host of the first 8 episodes, I think, left, and Amy and I have been doing it ever since. And the reason we do it is twofold. One, because we have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. I don't know if any of you listen, but we really are having that much fun. And 2, because we want to express to you that SOE is a fun company filled with real people who are also gamers, except for Amy, who's never getting her gamer card back. And to let you see kind of behind the scenes as to what's going on and what kind of folks we really are, not these faceless people that just want your credit cards week after week, month after month. And you're a regular guest on our show, right? Hey, Jim on!
Apparently I have appeared on it.
The grumpy little gamer?
Yes.
No, I've always said, even if no one listens, just entertaining ourselves is worth it to me. The couple hours every week we work on it. So.
Yeah, that was actually one of the mandates from above was, you need to keep doing these if not for the players because we like laughing at you. So, so we keep doing. And the reason I don't mock you two usually on the podcast is because I'm afraid.
Because they mock you
I don't
enough
scare
for
you.
everybody.
You're a snowflake. Yeah.
So the next question for you down there on the end, Brent, is what is the biggest challenge for you podcasting? You're coming up on your big 100, or did you just record?
No, we're coming up. That's next one.
They're coming up on your 100th episode. What's the biggest challenge for you putting out? Yeah, congratulations. Coming out with these as regularly as you do, and always having something new to talk about, something mostly entertaining to talk about.
Yeah.
You're so polite.
Yeah, go ahead and start.
Oh, challenging. Well, other than Yivvits. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's I mean, technically, he does all the heavy lifting. I mean, Wookiees are always good for that, if you know one thing about Wookiees. So after we record, I mean, I'm blessed that I'm on the side where we record and have some laughs, and then he takes it to the bat cave or whatever, and just does what he does, makes it sound really nice, and all the editing and whatever you do. I can't begin to understand that. The challenges are, just keeping it interesting for us behind the scenes, to be honest. I mean, in my sense, we try to have that, what you said, the laughs on the air and that kind of stuff. And actually, frankly, the game has its ups and downs, and that makes it hard sometimes to really be just bubbly and that kind of stuff about it. Luckily, lately, we've had just a whole lot of good things coming out, and that's made it really easy to talk about and have some fun. Luckily, I work at a retail store where I have a whole cast of weird characters coming in the door. I can usually pull a couple of those things to talk about, so that usually makes it interesting. And it's just having in the same room. And I'd say being in the same room makes it really easy to just play off of each other. And you guys have that experience too. That's huge. I talk to so many podcasters that don't have that. That's it's really hard sometimes. But it's pretty easy. As I said, he does the work. You want to talk about some of the hard stuff though, other than working with me?
Well, that's pretty much the worst part.
Right.
The worst part is coming up with game news and ranty kind of things that won't put him to sleep. Because that's been known to happen a couple times. You're going to problem with targeting. He's over here like...
It's boring as hell sometimes. God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I have a whole spreadsheet on how you can fix targeting.
I do. You're
so mean. I love it.
Yeah. I guess when we first come up with stuff, we go and look at what we've been doing in the game, and we just ramble about that for a while, and then we'll maybe listen to our voicemails. Might be somebody interesting there that we'll talk to, give them a call. We had Brent from Virgin Worlds on recently talking about some game news, and he's out there. Hardest working man in podcast show business.
Has the collective. He's like the board. He's assimilating all the podcasts.
And he's sexy too.
And there's things like that give me lots of ammo and fuel. So
That he just recorded you saying.
yeah,
Okay. I've said worse.
yes, actually,
Thanks for editing that, by the way.
yeah. We put the bleep in, and we fixed the bleep so it's a little more apparent. But it's fun. We talk about the stuff that's kind of, like I said, in the game, and just changes, and really just a lot of what we've been doing, and then we'll just kind of talk about from what we're feeling for the game and changes like that, and we'll just say it like we feel like it. We're not going to lie, and we don't get paid, so not officially at least. But there you go.
Pile of one.
So if there's something we don't like, we'll talk about it and we'll explain why, and then we also say when we like stuff. So I think we try to be fair with that at least.
We can talk about Star Wars too.
And we talk about Star Wars mainly. So we have our special guests that join us, like Obi-Wan and Tarkin and
Smedley.
Alan and Smedley. We don't have a Smedley clip. No, I don't think we've got any Smedley clips.
Oh.
I don't have clips of
No, but you guys do his voice.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Smedley, yeah. Smedley, and we have Helios. You kind of show sometimes. Say hi. Hi. Yep. Is Helios here, by the chance?
Yeah.
I think
Is
so.
he? Then I don't worry, he was.
Don't worry.
He can really kick my butt.
I think that's a restraining order, actually.
Is it really? But no, we have a lot of fun, and everything we say, we're really just being satirical and not really, we're not trying to, hate everything. And it's funny when I met Smith the first time at an event a couple years ago. He didn't sound anything like my impression. I was really, really amazed. I was surprised by that. But yeah, Star Wars is really the main thing we talk about, and if there's nothing else going on, maybe Mr. Rubble will have some story about someone in his cell phone, and it'll always tie back to Star Wars somehow. So that's kind of our main thing. And like with our song clips, we always have kind of an unwritten rule. We only use stuff from the Star Wars movies and a few other select sources. So we like to keep it like that because otherwise we could have a lot of interesting sound clips.
Right.
Wouldn't tie back to the game. As far as technical stuff, it's a lot of work because we're a very processed and edited show. So we're not the live thing because half the stuff we say, about an hour or two of it, probably isn't legal in like 48 states to talk about. So when you've got
That was a good line, by the way.
thank you.
Nice.
When you've got the I'm Ellen, and then you have Alan going, yeah, and Alan going, no. We can, play with that a lot. We don't air it as much, really. So
Right.
no, but the show we record maybe 3-4 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 2 evenings of work for getting the show, and then it's probably maybe 4 to 6 or 7 hours of editing. Just putting it all together and making it sound pretty. So it takes a lot of time. But it's fun. We have fun with it.
Yeah, the one thing you mentioned, one big thing that we added that is stuck, and I think is just a huge part, is when you added your little magic keyboard where you have the sound effects.
Yes.
Because we always wanted to do that initially, but we just couldn't quite figure it out, and he got it figured out. And then he has these clips like that I know. You should see. I think we have a photo on somebody, but it's got little labels of like a whole bank of Uncle Owens up here. It's like yeah, they hit that button. I was like on that button. It's just, and then they're live, and that's like the most fun thing. We callers get to experience it because we'll say, who do you want to talk to, and then he'll load some stuff. And then all of a sudden they can talk to Jar Jar. And as you mentioned, it's like, yeah, you get a yes or a no, and you're just set. And the stuff we can't release is just, like with Alan, I mean, this is a pair, we do something like, when we're
Watch what you say here.
I know. I'm just getting going here. No, but if you're testing the mics, we're like, hey, Alan, do you like to wear Speedos? And then Alan's like, yeah. It's the funniest stuff, but we've never released it, but we had that for so many people.
You should add this head to staff. We'll put I'll have Jar Jar do it too or something.
Oh, yeah, that's
funny.
right.
So Jar Jar, do you like Speedos? No. Yeah.
That's true. And then all these Imperial Grand Moff Tarkin is some of the best stuff. He's and just all those guys. But that to me has really been a lot of fun with just having that thing there and loading up the sound clips for whatever we're going to use that night. And like if everything fails, I mean, there's some with Star Wars we can talk about. That's what we like a lot. So
We pass it to Jay now.
okay.
Now, wait, Jay, you don't record live with Xanadu. You two are in 2 different areas, right? You're not in the same room?
That is correct.
So tell us how that challenge works out, along with your other challenges.
Okay.
Entertain us.
Hello.
Now, one of our greatest challenges being live is that 7 o'clock Eastern Time on Tuesday comes every single week at the same exact moment. It is amazing. The clock works every week.
That's profound.
It is. I am deep. But we end around 9 o'clock on Tuesday night, the live show, and the clock is ticking until the next Tuesday. So we already have to start thinking about what we're going to start doing the next week while I'm editing last week's and while I'm trying to get that all done. Editing is the worst part because I have to listen to myself again and say, I can't believe I said that. And then I went on for about 10 minutes about it. And I still didn't say anything new.
I feel you there.
But one thing that editing does do, it makes it sound a lot smarter than we really are. Because I can get rid of all the ahs and the ums and those dead pauses where I'm like, is Anna going to say anything right now? I can't see, because I can't see her. She's in New York, I'm in Massachusetts. So I'm staring at the monitor and I'm like, okay, is she going to speak now? So we start going over and talking over each other all the time. And that's like impossible to edit. So you just hear all this, go ahead, because I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying because I was already talking. So what were you just saying? So it makes it extremely difficult because we're not together like that. So we have that challenge of, is the other person ready to say something? Are they ready to jump in, or am I kind of done here? Or do I just keep talking, and then that's when inevitably my foot winds up in my mouth? Because if she doesn't say anything, I'm like, I better say something. And what am I thinking? And it's usually not that good. So a lot of that, I try to edit out as best I can, but you sometimes just can't. if you happen to actually listen last Tuesday was an absolute disaster. So that one didn't survive the editing process. There was literally nothing left when I was done, other than us saying, "Okay, see you at Faire." So I just played some music clips. But those are our two greatest challenges. Is that we're on a schedule, and it's a really hardline schedule. So if one of us isn't feeling good, or we're running behind, or work comes up, or something like that, this is a part-time hobby for us. Where that clock just doesn't stop ticking. And then not being able... I've never actually even met Xanadai in real life. So I only know her as her character and as her voice, which I get to listen to about 3 or 4 times throughout the week. Because, again, you got to edit and you got to rehear that conversation all over again.
Are you sure she's a female?
That's a good question. No, she is. Yes.
I'm just wondering. It's a big problem we have in Star Wars.
I'm gonna check the text. 1 second. Why do you think you're enough?
Yeah, I know what I am. But
what about him?
Our listener. I've heard, but yeah, right.
Are you sure you're not a female?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. For the record, I do not wear Speedos.
Well, I never said you did. I did, didn't I? Yeah.
Our biggest challenge really is, coming up with new news to talk about, because the games don't patch every 2 weeks, but we put a podcast out every 2 weeks, especially for some of the smaller games, MXO, Vanguard, EQOA. We hear from those folks all the time, why don't you talk about our game? Well, because there's nothing to talk about with your game. And so that's probably our biggest challenge. The other one is interviews, scheduling and lining up interviews. We've had a lot of high-profile interviews with people at Sony that fall through because of their schedules or our schedules or trips, because everybody's traveling or everybody's busy. And then the third challenge we have is just my big mouth. Poor Robin has to edit quite a bit, and when they said that I have said worse, yes. In fact, I sent them a greeting once that was, it was very profound and deep.
I think you said the F word like 13 times.
Yeah.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks.
Yeah, we have footage.
We have the unedited version.
Yeah.
So my co-host, who sent this to them as a prank, sent them the unedited version.
Hey, you know what? Kat sent me the unedited version. I didn't realize it.
We were sending it to them for April Fools, and they got the unedited version, and I was like, what?
Alan. Well, you can have them back. But,
well, everybody knows now. Amy, you said the F-bomb like 42 times. Yeah. Thanks, Amy. And for the record, if you do listen to the SOA podcast, Amy really isn't the voice inside my head.
Okay, so my biggest challenge is him saying that all the time. But otherwise, like you said, interviews, I do all the scheduling, and it gets really stressful when I'm trying to fill 2 interview slots and everybody's busy, or people don't want to, or whatever comes up when we don't have anything to talk about. The players really don't want to hear from me, oddball stuff like that. But it's frustrating. My other big frustration is coming up with actual content sometimes. Is we want to do a really cool top 10 list, and everybody's going like, I don't know. And so getting creativity in the podcast sometimes is a challenge as well. Other than that, I just go in and have fun, drink coffee or tea, or last night was vodka, whatever.
Nothing wrong with vodka.
No.
Yeah, she has to do all this prep work for like 2 weeks, and then she walks into my office 5 minutes before we record and goes, "This okay with you?" "Yeah, sure, fine."
That's because he doesn't have time any other time. If I don't put it on his calendar, he doesn't have time for me.
What?
I'm sorry, I don't have time for this.
I know. You're supposed to be emceeing the best of the best right now.
yes.
That's the what?
Yes, Alan.
Yes, we're here.
Yes, we have the microphone. Yes.
Well, why don't we open it up for questions, because we actually started really late. So if any of you have any questions for any of us, or especially for these 3, who have great podcasts, and I really encourage you to listen to. And he does actually put out a podcast as well. When he was talking about editing, they take the show and edit it up and download it as a podcast. So you can step up to the mic up there so everybody can hear you and ask any questions you might have.
Ask about anything.
Like if you wear Speedos?
I don't.
Oh.
Nobody has any
Scared.
questions? Great, thank you. It was a pleasure having you.
No.
No?
Oh, come on.
What questions do you guys
How much time do we have?
have questions for them? We have 10 minutes.
Oh, I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Quick show of hands. Who is their primary MMO is SWG? Anybody?
Oh,
All right.
Wow.
Whoa! Oh, wow. A guy with EQ2 or EQ1 primary level. All right, respectable.
How about
What about Vanguard?
Planet Side?
What about Planet Side?
There's a Vanguard guy.
I'm going to start a Planet Side podcast, I think.
MXO?
I think there was a question almost there. Is there yours?
Almost?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Alan.
Yes!
No, I'm just sorry, Alan. I had to do that. But I've been listening to two of your podcasts, not the gentleman in the center. Sorry, don't play EQ2.
We'll forgive you.
Thank you very much. But
And your name is?
Well, are you going to use this against me later?
Speed up.
Character name is Eldarwin. Played SWG for almost 5 years. So, other characters. You're clapping, and I paid so much money.
You know how they clap when you announce yourself at AA? You say, I've been clean for...
Thank you.
I'm Star Wars Galaxy's player.
I had a question for Yivvits and MrBubble, because recently they play listener email and stuff like that. And you guys recently had an email from a troop, a Girl Scout troop.
Yeah.
And you were making some interesting comments and that, and I was wondering, have you guys cleaned up your act a little bit after knowing that a Girl Scout troop has been listening to your podcast?
We like to think we masked the innuendo, but I'm not really sure about that.
If I get it, don't.
I mean, look, Girl Scouts, I'm sure they like ribbons and things, and I mean, Mr. Rubble likes to play with ribbons. So.
Keep talking about Girl Scouts. You're doing well.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm just saying that maybe that's a market we haven't tapped enough.
Oh.
I'm not sure about that. But
Okay.
Bad choice of words.
yeah, that might have been. But I'll let Mr. Bubble go on. With that.
Yeah. For the record, we were not going to market ourselves towards Girl Scouts.
Right.
Okay. Girl Scout leaders, different question. But that might be something else. No, kids love our show. I mean, I hope a lot of them don't get the innuendo, but I mean, some do. But the parents, or the children of the parents actually do listen. We have 8 or 9-year-old people calling in saying, I'm Alan. We have a whole bunch we haven't used yet. It was a Girl Scout leader, actually, from Illinois, and she had a car full of kids. And she was I sent her an email, I said, well, have them say this, that, and everything. And we have all these people saying, the little kids, what was the best one they'll hear soon? Can you do that better than I can? Is the little,
like Ross Perot.
We call it a little Ross Perot. What does he sound like? Hi, I'm Alan! An 8-year-old with so much enthusiasm. He's like, hi, I'm Alan! We played it like 50 times. Just on our, just so we wouldn't laugh at it. But, so there's tons of those. We have, truckers and women, just everybody's like, oh, I'm Alan, or whatever. So that's a gift from God, Alan. We thank you so much for that. If this gets to you, I'd like you to say what you honestly think about that. Because we figure you tell us don't do it if you don't want. That's just the way I roll. It's like, I do it until I'm told not to do it. That's why I'm divorced, I think, too. But, sure.
Actually, I don't mind at all, but we're going to have a new sound clip on my show. Hi, I'm Yivvits, and I want to tap the Girl Scout money.
Poor Yivvits.
I gave you one back. It's my gift to
So
you.
yes, we're all pro Girl Scout. Here's what we're doing. And ribbons and dancing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, there are no 9-year-olds in this audience, are there? Yivvits, Girl Scouts, Bubbles, Boy Scouts. Anybody?
Hey, that's
Fine, Alan. It's a perfect exit line for any sticky situation. Fine, Alan.
Do we have any other questions out there?
Yes. Yay. Questions.
Oh, Kelly has a question.
EQ2 Tuesday questions.
Hi guys, I'm Brendan. I play SWG and EQ2, so I hear all your shows. I think you guys do an absolutely awesome job with your shows.
Thank you.
I've actually got something to say to Delmon.
It's Sebulus,
I
damn
know
it.
you know what it is. So for those of you who don't know what I'm about to say, in July he put out a show that he issued a challenge to 20 people who would come up to him in fanfare and say something. And he promised a free drink.
I did.
And
People
for
were
those
saying
of you
this to
who
me
want that
yesterday.
free drink, please say what I'm going to say because Darwin's offered to give you a free drink. Okay. Darwin, you fat bastard. You don't know your ass from your elbow about EverQuest 2. By the way, Darwin, I'll pick up my drink later, thanks. It's going to be a beer, mate.
I see there's some water in the back of the room. You can grab
What was the thing he was supposed to say? I'm waiting for that.
There actually is a little funny bit about that. That was actually an email that I got from a person. We have a series of a clip that we do of my answering machine phone calls, and they're all real. People thought they were all made up, other than the very last one. If you've had a chance to listen, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know how to say what you're talking about, and all these other things. So that's where that one came from. Then. So congratulations, Brendan. Thank you very much. I think I appreciate it.
Now I understand why people kept coming up to me yesterday going, "Are you the fat bastard?" Thanks. No, I'm Lyle. That's the other guy.
Yay.
Hello. Sorry, I was running in and out, so if you guys already talked about it, I'm sorry to make you repeat, but I know you have a big milestone coming up with your 100th episode. I was wondering if you had any hints to share about what might be.
Oh yeah, give him applause again.
Yeah. No, it's probably gonna have stuff from Fanfare on it, and it might have a cake again. I'm not sure about that. It was always interesting to have MrBubble go down to the local bakery and ask for a cake that says "Happy 50th, Yivvits MrBubble."
Yeah.
With Boba Fett on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You wanted your own cake?
They're like, okay. We just make the cake. I don't know anything else. Maybe we'll have 2 layers or something.
Dual layer.
Dual layer
technology.
Yes. Chocolate. Yes. Yes. Swiss cake rolls.
Little Debbie's.
Little Debbie's. Yes. Oh, we got to do our plugs. We get paid for that.
Right. And Hunt's ketchup.
Yeah. Hunt's ketchup and Toro lawnmowers. So we've got to plug all of our usual brands here.
Coke Zero.
Diet Pepsi Max. No, it'll just be more of the same. We'll probably have maybe some kind of little comedy bit thing like Palpatino's Pizza or something like that. Does everybody listen to like our holiday shows that like Palpatino's Pizza?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. He makes good pizza.
He does.
Yeah. Mom Jerry, not so good though. He's kind of a a-hole. I can say that, right? Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we've only talked about Girl Scouts. Yeah.
A-hole's okay.
Yeah, now I'm
Shaped
worried.
cakes.
Now I'm worried. Right?
Yeah. Sexy cakes.
Sexy cakes. I don't know. It's just more of the same. We'll talk about maybe some Star Wars Galaxy stuff, obviously. And we're gonna play a montage again of people calling in, wishing us happy 50th, happy 100th show. So there's still more time. You can call and leave a message for us. We'd love it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. It's kind of like that montage on Survivor when the last episode when they're walking by and the previous people that are kicked off. Those would be like the old episodes. But there's still time to call the toll-free number. One was it
888-900-YAMB. There you go.
Nice. Yeah, we have a lot of high-profile people that left messages, so it's going to be a lot of fun little messages like that. So I want to get the Pope to call. Like we're hoping on that. We don't know anything. You have a question?
I wonder whose question's for.
Tuesday.
My question is, I really like the sound bites that you guys do and the voice board. So if you guys could talk a little bit about how you implement that in your podcasting. Do you like program it into keys on an electronic keyboard, and that's how you cue them up? Or?
They already covered this. Where were you?
Yeah, it's
Sleeping it off.
Yeah, it's a MIDI keyboard, USB MIDI keyboard with a sampler instrument on it, and I just load the samples into each key and There you go.
You have one button that goes, I'm Alan.
Yeah. Another one that's, I'm Jason Beck Ryan, or whatever we need. So it's pretty simple as far as that.
I like it when you make fun of Jason.
We did get some people making calls up as him as well. So.
Yeah, that's the weirdest
That's
thing.
for those two. No machine fists.
Yeah.
What? No, we got the experts here. What are no machine fists?
Big
We really want to know.
This sounds like something from, Amsterdam, but go ahead.
You two really need to leave your little perverted fantasies out of this. It's a tinkered item in EverQuest 2. There are gnomish gloves, steam fists.
So like
They're not used, you guys would enjoy them in your secret bunker, your bat lair.
Go on.
CTCO is working out for you well.
I'm Alan.
We have another question.
Hi, Yivvits and MrBubble. I'm Alan.
No, you're not. I'm Alan.
You're Alan. That's right. You said that yesterday. I'm actually yes. I play on Valorant sometimes, and I got a couple of questions. One of them is, when are you going to let me into Yambora?
We're going to do what?
When are you going to invite me to live into Yambora?
All you have to do is ask.
Some people just don't get hints, do they?
No, I just got to ask me.
Okay.
Or ask him.
Like he hasn't asked, though.
Have you asked?
I just asked.
Oh, we just asked.
And
Of course.
explain what
We
is
thought-
it?
That's our town on Velson on Tatooine, Yambora. So
Where you have the hot pants dance parties, right?
We do have hot dance parties. Yeah. No, I'm a Wookiee, so I can't wear hot pants.
But the Sulliston does.
I'm not as much as you make.
No, he's just the ribbons. Just the ribbons
Yeah.
for him. We actually had somebody send us ribbons for him, by the way. So
Yeah.
We'll talk about that on the 100th or the 99. No, 99. We talk about that. But yeah.
With Kelly being our Squid community manager, are we going to start getting sound clips of her?
I don't think I got any recordings of Kelly, really. I mean, she left us a message. But
what should she say if she calls in? Yes.
I don't think it was anything. There's.
If you do the hi, I'm Alan, you're fired.
She did not actually. Yeah. I don't know. The sound clips they just a certain call or something somebody says, it just strikes us as funny, and it just goes in the bin then. So
This may surprise you, but Kelly's a pretty shy in person.
yeah. And honestly, if anybody said they really didn't really like us or want us to do that, we wouldn't do it. So unless it's Alan, of course.
I'll give you some sound. We have any other questions? Well, thank you for joining us. Please come up and chat with these folks. They have great podcasts. They love hearing your feedback, and we love having you as part of the community and all the great stuff you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Hi, I'm Tillman.
Fat bastard.
I can't do it.